Question number 12 says we're given angle 1, which is 3x plus 16, and we're given angle 2, which is 5x minus 12, and they want us to find the measure of angle 2. So hopefully you know that these are called vertical angles, and they're equal to each other. So I'm going to set an equation and solve 3x plus 16 equals 5x minus 12. So when I solved, I canceled these, and I got x is 14. And a lot of students stop there and give us that answer. Unfortunately, they don't want us to just solve for x, they want us to find the measure of angle 2. So I'm going to take 14 and substitute it in there and solve. When I substitute it in, my final answer is 58 degrees for angle 2. And believe it or not, if you would have done the same thing with angle 1, you should also get 58, because they're always equal. In question number 13, it says, Laura says all rhombi or rhombuses are parallelograms. So here's a picture of a rhombus, and it looks a little bit like a parallelogram. But then Marianne says all parallelograms are actually rhombuses. So they want to know who is incorrect. Well, parallelograms are very general. Believe it or not, a rectangle, where these sides are equal, these sides are equal, and we have right angles, is actually a parallelogram. But this is not a rhombus, because in a rectangle, not all four sides are equal. So that means that Marianne is wrong. And so I'm going to put that real quickly. Marianne is incorrect because a rectangle, and you could think of some other shapes too probably, but for sure a rectangle is a parallelogram, but not a rhombus. And that's because all four sides in a rectangle are not equal. In question number 14, they ask us to find the area of the shaded part. So I'm going to find the area of the triangle first, which you know is base times height divided by 2. And it looks like the height is 5 because they put that over there, and the base is 10. So 5 times 10 is 50, and divide by 2 and you get 25. So 25 is the area of this whole thing. But I don't want this part in the middle. I want to get rid of that. So I have to subtract the area of a rectangle, which is just base times height. And in my case, that's 1 times 6, which is just 6. So I'm going to subtract those two to find out just the shaded part. And that would be the total area is only 19. In question number 15, they say find the area of a trapezoid formed by the following points: 0, 0, 1, 3, 5, 3, and 6, 0. So they want us to find the area of this trapezoid. One way to do that is to know the formula for a trapezoid, and I think this is the easiest. So we need to do base 1 plus base 2 times height divided by 2. And in our case, one of the bases, if you count, is 6. This base over here is only 4 squares. And then the height is straight down the side here. So the height in our case would be 3 divided by 2. So 6 plus 4 is 10. 10 times 3 is 30. And 30 divided by 2 is 15. Now the other option you have is you could divide this up if you wanted to. And you could find the area of this piece, which is a rectangle, and that's 4 by 3, so this part is 12. You could find the area of that triangle, which is base times height divided by 2. In our case, that's 1 times 3 divided by 2 is only 1.5. And this triangle is the same, it's also 1.5. And if you add 1.5, 12, and 1.5, you will still get 15. I think it's easier to use the trapezoid formula. This question is asking us to bisect one of the angles in the triangle, so that means cut it exactly in half. You know, there are 3 angles, so you can choose whichever one you want. I'm going to use the one on the far left here. So basically I would put my center of the compass right here. You need to mark part of a circle, so put your center and then you mark it something like that. Then you move the center up here, and you use the same amount and you mark it over here. Finally, you move the center over to this part, use the same radius and mark it there, and then when you connect this dot to this dot, you get a perfect bisection. So the angles are exactly cut in half. That means this angle right here and this angle are now exactly the same.